Everyone says Brookdale High is a totally normal school. It's not. I'm Jake Miller, I'm 16, and this whole thing started during my junior year. It was our Springfield trip. The destination, a creepy old hotel in Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah, you heard me right, that Salem. The place was called the Hawthorne Inn, built way back in 1891. Our teachers kept calling it historic. My best friend, Ryan, leaned over and whispered, "Historic is just another word for haunted." We both laughed. Looking back now, we really shouldn't have. From the moment we walked into the lobby, things felt off. The air was thick and heavy, like it hadn't been breathed in a century. The front desk lady, with her tight grey bun and spectacles perched on her nose, stared at us for a solid minute, her eyes just drilling into us. It was unnerving. She finally slid 2 old-fashioned brass keys across the counter, and her voice was this low, monotone whisper. "Whatever you do," she said, not blinking, "don't go into room 203. Ryan, always the brave one, just smirked. "Why not?" The woman's faint smile vanished instantly. Her face went completely blank. "Because someone is already staying there." I frowned. "But the hotel's fully booked for our school," I said. "There aren't any other guests." She didn't answer. She just turned away, leaving us standing there with the heavy keys in our hands and a cold feeling creeping up our spines. We were in room 202, right across the hall. The door to 203 was just a few feet away, silent and dark. That night, everything went from weird to terrifying. It was 11:47 p.m. I was dead asleep when Ryan shook me awake. "Jake," he whispered, his voice shaking. "Jake, do you hear that?" I sat up, my heart already starting to pound, and then I heard it. A slow, deliberate knocking. 3 distinct knocks. Knock, knock. The sound wasn't coming from the hallway or the room next door. It was coming from inside our room. I scanned the dark corners, the closet, the bathroom. "There's no one here, man," I whispered back, trying to convince myself as much as him. As soon as I said it, the knocking stopped. Silence. Then my phone buzzed on the nightstand, its screen lighting up the dark room. I grabbed it. An unknown number. The message was 2 simple words. "Don't open the door." A cold sweat broke out on my forehead. My blood ran cold. Before I could even say anything, Ryan held up his phone. He'd gotten the exact same message at the exact same time. Suddenly, the lights in the hallway outside our door began to flicker wildly. Then we heard it. A slow, agonizing creak of a door opening. It was the door across from us, room 203. We crept to our peephole, our hands trembling. The door to room 203 was open, just a crack, a sliver of darkness spilling into the hallway, and in that sliver, a figure stood, a girl. She looked about our age, maybe a little older. Her face was incredibly pale, framed by long dark hair that fell over her shoulders. She was wearing old-fashioned clothes, something you'd see in a history book or a period drama. It didn't make any sense. As we watched, she turned her head slowly, as if she knew we were there, and a small smile touched her lips. Her voice floated across the hall, a soft, chilling whisper. "You shouldn't be here." Ryan, somehow finding his voice, managed to swallow and reply, "Neither should you." The girl's smile twisted into something unnatural, something wrong. "Oh," she said, her voice dropping an octave. "I never left." And with that, the door to room 203 slammed shut with a deafening bang that echoed down the empty corridor. The hallway lights went completely out, plunging everything into total blackness. We didn't wait for another invitation. We scrambled back from the door, barricaded it with a chair, and spent the rest of the night huddled together, waiting for the sun to rise. The next morning, sleep-deprived and terrified, we pulled out our laptops. We had to know. We Googled the Hawthorne in Strange Occurrences and Room 203 Salem. The results were immediate. We found dozens of old articles and forum posts. Then we found her. In 2003, a 17-year-old high school student named Emily Carter had stayed in room 203 during a school trip just like ours, and she had vanished. She just disappeared from her room in the middle of the night. The police found no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, no body, no answers. It was like she just ceased to exist. We scrolled through the articles, our dread growing with every word. Then we saw a line in one of the local news reports that made my stomach lurch. It was a quote from a paranormal investigator. It said, "Some guests have reported strange phenomena linked to room 203, including receiving text messages from an unknown number, seemingly from inside the room long after Emily Carter vanished." Ryan looked at me, his face pale. "Jake," he whispered. "She's the one texting us." The pieces were all falling into place, creating a picture we didn't want to see. That night was the longest of my life. We tried to stay awake, but exhaustion eventually won. At exactly 2:03 a.m., my phone lit up the room again. Another text from Emily. The message was simple: "Come back." At that exact moment, we heard a soft click. The lock on our hotel room door, the one we had bolted and barricaded, turned all by itself. The door swung open slowly, revealing the pitch-black hallway, and across the hall, the door to room 203 was wide open, like a dark mouth waiting to swallow us. Against every instinct, something pulled us forward. We found ourselves walking out of our room and across the hall, as if in a trance. The second we stepped into room 203, the atmosphere changed. The air was freezing, so cold I could see my breath. The room itself looked wrong, decayed. The wallpaper was peeling off in long, damp strips. The furniture was covered in a thick layer of dust, and the mirrors on the wall were all cracked, reflecting distorted, nightmarish versions of ourselves. And there, standing by the window, silhouetted against the faint moonlight, was Emily. "They forgot me," she said, her voice a soft, sorrowful echo. "I was supposed to go home, but they all left. They forgot me. So now I stay." Her loneliness was a physical thing, a cold weight in the room. Ryan took a step back toward the door. "We're leaving," he said, his voice firm, despite the fear. Emily's sad expression immediately hardened, her face contorted with rage. "No," she hissed. "You can't." And the door slammed shut behind us, plunging us into darkness. The mirrors around the room began to glow with a faint, sickly light, but they weren't reflecting the room anymore. They were showing us things. Images flickered across the cracked glass students from another time, screaming in terror. Teachers crying. The flashing red and blue lights of police cars painting the walls. It was her story, playing out for us. Emily's voice echoed all around us, coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Someone has to stay," she chanted. "Someone always has to stay." The lights in the mirrors flashed, brighter and brighter, until they were blinding. Then everything went black. I woke up with a gasp. I was in my own bed, back in room 202. Sunlight was streaming through the window, but something was terribly wrong. I could hear screaming, not from the past, but from right now. Teachers were yelling in the hallway. Police officers were everywhere. I looked over at Ryan's bed. It was empty. The sheets were thrown back, but he was gone. They said Ryan must have had a mental health crisis, that he'd run away during the night. They told me I was in shock. No one believes me, but I know what happened. As our school bus pulled away from the Hawthorne Inn later that day, I couldn't help but look back. I looked up at the second floor, and in the window of room 203, I saw him. It was Ryan. He was standing there, perfectly still. He slowly raised his hand and gave a small, chilling smile, and then he held up a phone. A moment later, my own phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out, my hand shaking uncontrollably. It was a new text message. From Ryan's number, it said, "Room 203 is free now. Thanks for watching. If you like stories that make you question everything, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay safe out there."